Good evening, everyone. We welcome you all to the Sunday special webinar, Overcoming Stage Fear with Carolyn Tosi Madam. Kumuruguru College of Liberal Arts and Science is one of the great initiatives of Kumuruguru institutions. It shines bright in its education, standard, and morality. Students enter this college with high hopes of achieving their dreams. This institution helps them to discover, explore, learn, and exhibit their talents and achieve their goals. They aim at giving a higher level knowledge and a great platform to start their career. Here at class, students are taught qualities like leadership, professionalism, teamwork, adaptability, and a lot more. Its main objective is to encourage liberal learning. It shows each student the way to where they want to be. As we slowly progress away from the student life and into professional spaces, we will have to face important people and big crowds very often. How do we prepare ourselves for those situations? To help us with that, today we will learn ways to overcome stage fear efficiently. I now hand over the dice to Madame Magdalene.
Thank you, Shruti. So a very warm welcome to all the participants for today's webinar. As we all know the saying, action speaks louder than words. According to me, executing these actions with the master key of understanding makes us unique as we are. Donc, aujourd'hui, parmi eux, nous avons Madame Tosti, la fondatrice de l'Écho de Carreau. Born at Cannes, a city to be cherished by all cinephiles, notably, the Film Festival of Cannes occurs there every year. Maintenant, elle vit en Suisse, où elle est formatrice d'adultes, notamment en communication. With 15 plus years of experience, working for the not-for-the-profit sector with the United Nations and NGOs, she has worked in Africa, Asia, Europe, and USA in the area of communication. Madame holds Masters in Communication from America and a Bachelor's in Communication from France. She was a member of Information Commission of the Swiss Local Cooperation Federation for 10 years and also a part of its school expert. Madame is a certified happiness coach and has trained herself with Robert Holden, Hira Hossein, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and a lot more experts of various fields. She practiced several types of meditation, including creative visualization. As a passionate and positive personality, Madame aims in helping others in developing the inner ecology and communication skills. Her contribution in developing the communication is like an essential skill. A man needs to deliver his thoughts, sans doute. It's my honor to welcome Caroline Tosi Madam to commemorate the International Mother Language Day with the webinar Overcoming Stage Fear. Bienvenue et à vous, Madame.
Thank you very much, Magdalene. And Shruti as well. You did a great exercise introducing this webinar and myself. What an introduction. Thank you very much. So I'm here in Switzerland. I'm very happy to be with you and all the participants to speak about this theme, overcoming stage fear. You said it all concerning myself, so I don't need to add anything. We choose together to focus on 4 pillars. The 4 pillars we are going to address today during this webinar are first preparation, the first step, preparation. Then the self-talk, the way we talk to ourselves, which can be sometimes a negative talk in our mind. And the third will be physiology. Our body can help us a lot overcoming stage fear. And finally, visualization, and stay until the end because we are going to experiment together a visualization that you can maybe tape, record, and again, listen to it when you will need it. So we're going to start with the number 1 step, preparation. But before, I would like to say that we choose a regular type of event. So it's not like you are speaking to presidents. So it's like a regular speech you have to do in front of the students, for example. And if you do it in a foreign language, because I know you speak French, some of you, then what you are going to learn is even more important, because often we mislead a speech with an intellectual exercise like writing, structuring, which is true. It's true, but it's much more than that. You know, your nonverbal communication is much, much more important. So it's about 90% of what you deliver. So we see first the way you behave, the way you speak, the volume of your speech, how quick you speak, how comfortable you are. We see this first, and then we listen to the content. So when you speak in a foreign language, like I do now, but I had the opportunity to practice it while working for the United Nations, so it's no more stress for me anymore. But as I was saying to Shruti when we prepared, when I did my master's degree, I was the French teacher telling American students, hey guys, this is the way you should speak, which is really funny because imagine, I mean, so I really had to focus on my self-talk and not thinking, oh my God, I'm not legitimate for that. No, I was a teaching assistant. I was supposed to teach it. So I tried to do my best and let it go. You know, let it go is very important. So those 4 different ways, preparation, self-talk, physiology, and visualization, are different ways to empower yourself, to feel more confident in your body, in the way you deliver. So let's start with number 1. You can really, by you can empower yourself through your environment. So your stress can rise if you don't control your environment well enough. So first, you can focus on 4 areas. Yeah, the first one is organization. Just make sure you have enough time to prepare. So that's the first thing. And not only to prepare your content, but also to rehearse. Very often, one of the mistakes is to forget to rehearse. But we will go back to that in a while. Clarity is the second area that can help you empower yourself. The third one, show me Shruti, the third area is self-assessment. We will go back to it in a couple of minutes. And the last one is connection. Connection is the last area that you can use to mitigate your stress. And while mitigating your stress, you will also decrease your fear stage, your stage fear, okay? So let's start with organization. As I was just mentioning, first, the time. Having enough time to work on your content will release some stress for sure, but very often the mistake is not to have enough time to rehearse, okay? So it should be as much as the content, I will say. It depends on how important is the speech, but very often people even don't devote any time to rehearsing. So they just have notes and they read them, which is not the most ideal thing. So enough time to prepare your speech and rehearse it, first thing. Then the second point on organization is the topic. Sometimes you choose a topic that is too wide, for example, or that you don't know well. So just make sure that what you choose to speak about is something that you are knowledgeable about it, that you feel legitimate about it, because if you don't feel 100% legitimate, imagine your self-talk. A part of you may sabotage yourself at one point. So just make sure you feel legitimate. And why not? Another degree will be that even you are enthusiastic about it, you are passionate about it. This will make it much easier to deliver it, because you can make some mistakes, but people feel your enthusiasm. Remember, nonverbal is much higher than the content itself. The third point about organization, Shruti, is supervision. You may want to have a coach or your teacher to supervise you, or just having someone that can give you some tips may also decrease your stress. And And then your stage fear will also decrease as well. So that's about organization. Self-talk, the 3 other pillars are very important, but where do you start with the preparation? And often not enough time is devoted, and the topic may not be the good one, and then you lose confidence, you don't feel legitimate, you stress because you think that you are going to speak about something you don't really master well. So that's the first point, organization. Then we go to clarity. The first important point on clarity is the public. Today, I'm speaking to you, mainly an Indian audience. I know you are quite a number. I think that's the first time I speak to so many people online, which is really an honor for me. It could add some stress, but I'm used to it. So the pressure is not too much. I'm really enjoying being with you because this is a topic I really enjoy very much. So sometimes for myself, I didn't need to do too much preparation on the public, but sometimes when you prepare a speech, it's better that you know to whom you speak to. Are they going to be mainly males, or they will be technical people? And this will really decrease also your stress if you know very well who is there. You will know how to adapt your language, the type of vocabulary you want to use. So the more you are in control, the less fear, okay? The second point on clarity is going to be about results. Knowing what you want to achieve. For me, for example, at the end of 40 minutes, I want to cover those 4 pillars, including a visualization. And this is very clear that it will help you progressing on this theme of overcoming stage fear. So I'm convinced those 4 pillars are fulfilling the purpose. So the structure, the content, if you feel confident about it, also you will have less stress. So be clear on what you want to achieve, and be clear and also convinced that the way you will get there, the content, the structure, the way you deliver it, if you have exercise or not, if you let people ask questions or not, that you are very convinced about the way it is delivered. Very good. Then self-assessment. Maybe it's the first time you go online or you speak in front of a public. So just be aware of your weaknesses, and as well, the second point is about your strength. Why is it so important? Because it helps you taking the time to mitigate some of your weaknesses. For example, you know if you tend to speak too quickly or too slowly, or if the volume, or you speak very small like that. So if you speak very, very low, so it's better, you know, for example, that you stand up so you can mitigate it. And if you can, if you are allowed, then you stand up. It's easier to have a stronger voice, okay? And your strength also, be aware of your strength. Maybe you love to communicate with people like I do, so the human side is very important. So how can you integrate this in your speech? Do you want more interaction? Do you want to ask them questions? And this will make you feel more comfortable. So self-assessment is also key under this preparation tip. And we go into connection now. It's the last area under the preparation. Find a way to connect with your public if you can before you stand in front of them. So it means if you have time to go before, shake hands, speak to people, it will lower down your stress level. Because if you are behind the stage and you wait for your name to arrive, and depends on who, but you may have the stress really going up, you know, all this show and all that. So this could be a tip. Find a way to connect to people, to look at them, to exchange, to feel this human connection. You know, you are not higher, you are not lower. It's a one-by-one interaction. So that's about it, about the preparation. Keep your questions for the end. I know there will be a time for questions, so don't worry, you will have opportunities to ask questions on this part if you need. So start making the best of this environment through those 4 areas: organization, clarity, self-assessment, and connection. So we can move into the second pillar, which is about the self-talk. This is a big one and completely underestimated. If you do a public speaking course, like I do teach still here in Switzerland, I did it in the States with the American students I talked about just before. I did it during my UN days when I worked for the UN. I was more preparing speeches, and those directors, they were already very well trained. But when you do start your first speeches, your self-talk is not that empowering often. So be aware of it, that it can be an obstacle to your performance, and it's as much important as the content itself. So take care of your inner self-talk. So the first point on this is about, that's good. Yeah, I will go back shortly to this. The principle that is based is that our brain has a natural bias, to see negative stuff first and positive much after. So when you know that the way your brain is going to bring you thoughts at your consciousness will more often be negative thoughts than positive thoughts, you can feel more comfortable with the first point, which is that I recommend you to distance yourself. So Shruti, the first point will be to stop believing negative thoughts about yourself and the situation, because your brain tends to generate much more negative thoughts than positive thoughts. So stop believing all this narrative which is negative about yourself. Like this, you can get more energy to create what you want to create. The second point about the self-talk. If needed, empty your garbage. What does it mean, empty your garbage? Is that instead of suppressing this negative self-talk, I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh my God, I don't have enough time. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Write it down. Write down all your, what preoccupies you. Don't try to suppress it. This is a way the brain, when the brain sees it outside on the paper and sees the way you write it, it will release energy. It will make you feel much more comfortable. This is, the brain believes everything it sees. So if it sees on the paper, it's not in you anymore, which is a good thing, no? So empty your garbage if needed. Don't keep this within you, because your performance is not going to be good enough if you keep it inside. And the last point about self-talk is I want to encourage you to use positive affirmations. So the third point, Shruti, the next one, is about positive affirmations. You can use inner self-talk. You can write them down, choose them according to what you need the most. You can tell yourself, I'm able to do it. I'm going to do a good job. My public is going to enjoy what they are learning. What else? What else could you say? Anything that makes you feel empowered. And I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm really looking forward to it. And so on and so on. You can choose them, write them. You can record them on your smartphone and listen to them. All this will help you reprogram your brain. And instead of having this blah, 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 this negative narrative, you really make sure that every day, 3, 4, 5 days before your speech, you listen to those affirmations. I can tell you, I can ensure you, it will definitely make you more empowered, and you will feel much more confident to go ahead. And what's good also is that it motivates you to work on your speech. So it's good also that you enjoy the process itself, writing your speech, structuring your speech, rehearsing your speech. So it means that those positive affirmation every day, you are enjoying the process already. Very good. So that's the second pillar. The first pillar was preparation. The second pillar, self-talk. We are going to move on to the third pillar, which I love because it's the quickest way to change your inner state. Use your body to change your mood, your confidence. And research have shown that first, the smile can help you improve your mood, release the stress, and feel more confident about a certain task. So you can show Shruti the first information about the research. So best way to change your inner state, as mentioned, the body. So we are recommending you to use the smile and the power pose. But first we start with the smile. The next point, Shruti, please. It's about the research because I don't remember the name of this guy by heart. He's an American guy, Steve Beach, from San Diego School of Medicine, and research, and not only his research, but mainly all research about smiles are saying that it makes us feel better because, it generates some hormones like serotonin, dopamine. So when we are going to do the visualization together and we are going to slow down on breath, and at one point I'm going to say, put a smile on your face. That's the reason why, because it will help you visualize better your performance if you put a smile on your face, because it will change your biochemistry and your hormones. So you will feel more good about yourself, and it will release stress, and it will increase your ability to make it through this experience. So you want this, isn't it? And Shruti, you want this. So you are going to include more smile before and all that. And you did a great job with the introduction. Congratulations. So smile, how can we apply this? The 3 stage, I will say that when you rehearse, before rehearsing, you remember I say, please try to enjoy the process, okay? When you write your content and you stand in front of your mirror and you rehearse. So what you can do, it's the pen test. So the pen test, I'm taking a pen, I'm going to show you. You stay 2-3 minutes before you start the job about the content, rehearsing, and you put your pen between your teeth like that. What it does is that you fake a smile. You agree, Shruti? You fake a smile. Do you have a pen, Shruti? Do you have a pen with you?
No,
so I show again. Okay. The pen test, we call it, okay? Okay. And you stay like this 2 or 3 minutes. It's strange, but research really shows that it really increases your mood and it boosts your confidence. So it's good before, you start rehearsing your speech, for example, okay? So you send a signal to your body that you are happy to do this task, and then your performance usually increase when you are happy to do something, correct? Yeah? So why not, before starting working on your speech, do the pen test that I showed you. Then, while rehearsing your speech, try to smile as much as possible, okay? This is a way you can, it looks a little bit fake when you rehearse, but it's just to send, again, the signal to your body that the day you have to really do your speech, it's going to be easier for you to smile, because during 2-3 days before, you have been smiling and smiling and smiling. Okay. And the last point is about during your speech. Yes. Try to be as happy as possible. Especially, you remember in the first tip about preparation, I say, please try to find a topic you like and you enjoy, you are enthusiastic about. So like this, it's even easier to really have this smile on your face, and it helps with human connection. It helps with the rhythm and the volume of your voice when you are enthusiastic. If I speak like that, I think you are going to, oh, no, stay with me. Okay, so that will be the third pillar, physiology. And we spoke about smile. Now we're going to speak about the power pose. The power pose. And Shruti is going to show us on the next slide. We can see the power pose. So you have two columns. The power pose is the one on the left, where we have the arms like that. We are standing. We call it also Wonder Woman for the woman, you know, like. What it does is that it changes your biochemistry again. Such a power pose, you stay 3 minutes and it will increase your testosterone, which is an hormone where male among you have more testosterone than us women. So it means that the women usually, they have less testosterone, they are less aggressive because we developed other, you know, qualities, but this is true that usually male, they are more because they had to protect us, okay? It's different now, but for a long time, for different centuries, they had to protect us. So it shaped their biochemistry. So it means that for women, maybe power pose is even more important than for males, okay? Because you will feel more invincible. But this power pose will also decrease the cortisol, which is the hormone of stress. If you increase cortisol and you increase testosterone, you will be like a lion. You don't want to be like a lion, okay? You want to be confident, enthusiastic, but not stressed. So the power pose, just 3 minutes of that. So you have the example here. 3 minutes, that's nothing, correct? So it's really good to know that if you do this, you can really be feeling more confident within. So again, like the test with the pen for the smile, 3-4 days of rehearsing, you use the smile, you use the power pose, and you send signal to your body that you are confident. And the day you have to do your speech, you will be in a much better position and posture to deliver your speech. It's clear, okay? So the source, I encourage you to check the source at one point, which is Amy Cuddy. Again, she's an American researcher. You can find a TED talk about it. And it's very interesting because you also, some of you do interviews for jobs. And she mentions that they choose 2 groups. One did the power pose for 3 minutes. Another one did nothing. And they had the same interviews, okay? And people were really not engaging, but the group doing the power pose did the performance much better, just in 3 minutes. So imagine, it's nothing, 3 minutes, no, to improve your performance. That's really good. So the next point, Shruti, we are on the power pose. Yes, it's about the application. I mean, how do we apply that? Again, like we did for the smile, why not read your speech in the power pose, you know, when you rehearse, for example, okay? Or when you say out loud your positive affirmation, you know, I feel confident, I know I can do it, and you speak loud and you are in your power pose, and in 3 minutes you say everything that comes to your mind that feel you empower, and I'm going to enjoy it, and the public is going to learn so much about it, and you put, you know, this tone like you feel invincible, okay? Even if a part of you doesn't feel that much invincible, it's, you know, this expression, fake it until you make it, because you change your biochemistry by doing this. You reprogram your nervous system. And the ideal would be to do this in more than a week before, if you can, or 2 weeks before. And what's good about everything you learn now is that you apply it for your life overall, not only, you know, speech, but interview, asking to raise your salary, anything that you need to feel more empowered. You can use a smile, you can feel the power pose, the self-talk, you know. All this you can use to feel more empowered and to increase your performance. And finally, a last point on this is that it's not about the power pose, but it's about the body. Use your body to memorize it, to memorize your speech in an easier way. So walk around, you know, because this is what we are taught when we are trainers, is that your body helps you to memorize things. Maybe you already do it, or maybe you don't, but staying seated while rehearsing, it's not ideal at all, because you are not engaging your body. You know, moving helps you integrate really the words. And so that's another thing maybe you didn't know. So it's great that I mentioned it. And we're going to go to the last bit of the fourth pillar, visualization, I believe, which I love, which is the thing that I really enjoy very much. You can prime yourself, priming yourself, conditioning yourself, you know, through visualization. We know India is the country of yoga, of meditation. Here we are more into guided meditation, creative visualization that some of you, I'm sure, already enjoy doing. I don't know, Shruti, if you like that, you do it or not yet? You don't integrate visualization. It's not something you do so far.
No, ma'am, I haven't tried it.
So I will be happy to know when we do the exercise how you feel about it. Okay?
Sure, ma'am.
So research again shows that we can have great results with visualization, because you can trick your brain. Your brain believes everything it imagines. It's incredible, no? It's the same if you see it or if you imagine it, your body is going to respond. So you will have someone who is allergic to flowers. He sees a flower like very far away. It's a plastic flower. It's a fake one. He will start sneezing. Why? It's a fake one. Because the brain thinks it's real. So why not using this asset and tricking the brain, you know, to say, oh, look, I'm going to visualize myself controlling completely my speech, performing beautifully my speech, and my brain is going to believe it. And my brain then will help me when I'm in front of the audience to do a great performance. So Shruti, you can put the first point, please. I think it was about this idea of the brain doesn't make the difference. Okay, so if you imagine something, it feels really unreal, but for you to have the image in your brain, you need to create neuronal pathways. You need to create an activity in your brain. Okay, so use this asset. And I think we mentioned a research next, Shruti. I think we have a research about, again, an American guy, I think. Are you able to move on? Yes. The next one, please. So studies show that the mental practice, which is visualization, leads the brain to become more apt to create these results. Why? Because it creates neural pathways. So you have people like, you know, people who do piano. For example, they travel a lot. They don't have a piano in the plane. So they will rehearse, you know, like this, because they know that it will activate the brain. And it will be a kind of a training, okay? We know that sport people, they do that a lot. They visualize themselves reaching their goal, okay? So it's used a lot in sport. So you can really do this for anything, for an interview, for asking your wife or your husband something, because it will put you into condition. We say priming yourself. You condition yourself, okay? So what about this study? Can you show me, Shruti? What was the name of the researcher? I don't remember. Oops, normally there was something. Here it is. So even if Guang Yui as a kind of Chinese probably type of name, it's an American researcher from the Cleveland Clinic Foundation in Ohio. They did two groups. So it was with a finger, the exercise. One did some exercise with their finger, and the other group, they didn't move their finger, they mentally moved their finger. This is clear? Yeah? What was the result? Is that the one who did the physical exercise for 4 weeks, they increased by 53% the muscle, okay? Okay. But what's incredible is that the one who didn't move at all their finger, just through their mind, they increased by 35%. So it's lower. Yes, it's lower. But some people, skeptical, could say, no way. They didn't move their finger. They are not going to have an impact on their muscles. So this is to help you understand that you think imagination is irreal, it's imagination. No, for you to be able to see images when you visualize, your brain is active. You know that. So if your brain is active, you progress on your speech in some ways when you see yourself doing a good performance. So, we already choose those 4 pillars because I've been teaching this for many years, and the main mistakes is to put too much emphasis on the writing, on the structuring, on researching, and hours, and your brain is exploding, and very often you have far too much content and you don't know how to use it anymore. So the idea is also to use what you learned today, the self-talk, the physiology, the visualization, to also integrate them, in your preparation to feel more empowered and confident. So I think at this stage, I would like to, if it's okay for you, Shruti and Magdalene, to propose a 5-7 minute visualization for people to experiment this last point. Is it okay?
Yes, I'm okay with me, ma'am.
Good. And after, you can drop your questions or during, but I will ask some of your attention for those of you who are curious to experiment this. So I will ask also Shruti, Magdalene, anybody around to close their eyes right now, to start slowing down their breath, getting into here and now, releasing any tension. We can together breathe in by the nose and releasing, breathe out by the mouth. 2 more times. Breathe in, breathe out. 1 more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Very good. Now I invite you to stay your eyes closed, to start smiling, as I mentioned before, because you change your biochemistry. So just put a light smile on your face. Everything is all right. You'll feel insecurity. There is nothing to worry about. You are enjoying just this moment. And now I invite you to put one of your hands on the region of your heart. This is also a way to produce more oxytocin. It's an hormone that makes you feel more relaxed. To do a good visualization, you need to feel first, relaxed. You stay with your smile, your hand on your heart. You put your attention in the region of your heart. And you can start to thank your heart. Your heart is beating like 100,000 times a day. So tell to your heart, thank you. I don't have to think about it. You beat one second after the other. And feel the gratitude. Feel how thankful you are. Before you were born, your heart was created. And now I'm inviting you to bring to your memory a really joyful moment in your life. Choose it. And feel the joy. Reconnect to this moment. To open your heart even more. Feel gratitude for life, your life. Where were you? What you were doing? And how you were feeling. Very good. Now you are ready to start visualization on your performance. And it starts at home. You are not yet on the spot where you are going to deliver a speech. You are at home. And you have prepared yourself with your clothes. And you look to yourself in the mirror. And you are very happy to see what you see. You are very confident that this is the way you should dress. You look on the side, you look at you, you smile. You are so excited to go deliver the speech. And now you are in transition. You go into your car or the bus. And again, you feel excited to reach this place. You can feel some excitation, some enthusiasm, a little bit of stress. This is normal, but you're really keen on starting the speech. You are motivated, curious, and you can feel this enthusiasm. You are ready. You are completely ready for your speech. You have rehearsed it so many times. You are confident. You know you are going to do a good job. You are convinced of it. And now it's time to arrive on the spot. You are not inside. You are just outside the building, and you enter and you can see yourself walking with confidence and happy to be there, going to the room where you're going to deliver your speech. And you smile and you enter the room and people are around and you start connecting with them. Shake some hands maybe, smile to them, speak to some of them. They know you are going to deliver the speech. They may tell you something like, oh, I'm very curious to know what you're going to talk about. And you are there and you enjoy this moment just before you take the stage. And then your name is pronounced and you are ready to go. And you see walking with a lot of confidence to the spot where you're going to deliver the speech. Maybe there is a microphone and you smile and you stand and you take your time and you look at people and you start with your introduction, speaking with a lot of confidence. How does it look? How the people are looking at you. See your audience. And you, do you move? Do you walk? What do you say? How do you say it? But very important, how do you feel inside? Feel the confidence. Feel that you enjoy this moment. How do you speak? See you speaking. How is your face? Relaxed, happy. How the people in front of you respond. Very good. And now it's the end of your speech. You can see a positive feedback from the public. And you go back to the seat with this satisfaction of accomplishment. And now I invite you to feel the chair if you are seated. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes slowly, getting out of your imagination. Very good. Excellent. Let us know if you enjoyed it, if you could see yourself confident. I'm done. I'm open for questions.
So the session was really good, and I did not expect the last part of visualization. It's really, gave us a new feeling of being subtle, and it was so positive. Like many of us are like, we are so used to this online mode, and slowly we are going back to our regular colleges. But it is so nice to be a little positive, to think about, okay, I can do this, and spending some time on us. So I enjoyed doing it with you. So I hope even whoever is watching would have enjoyed it if they have done it. So can we have some questions for mom? You can ask any questions related to overcoming stage fear, or like she's a French native, and also currently she's in Switzerland. So many of us have the question of how to overcome our fear talking a foreign language. So I currently teach part 1 students in French. So I see my students hesitate even to say a normal salutation. So, as ma'am said, it is very easy. But if anybody is having any particular question, you can ask her. So, Shruti? Yeah, I'm just calling her. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You were continuing something.
Yes, I was going to say that it's true that we didn't speak much French. Je n'ai pas beaucoup parlé français. Est-ce que vous aimeriez que je fasse un petit résumé des 4 piliers, par exemple, maintenant, quand on attend les questions? Oui? OK. Donc, on a parcouru 4 axes pour se sentir plus en confiance. La préparation, le dialogue intérieur, notre physiologie et la visualisation. Et dans la préparation, on a parlé de 4 domaines. L'organisation, la clarté, l'évaluation, l'auto-évaluation et la connexion. Et je ne vais pas reprendre bien sûr tout le speech, mais par rapport à l'organisation, d'avoir assez de temps pour se préparer et garder beaucoup de temps pour répéter. Souvent, les gens oublient le temps de répéter. Ils écrivent, ils ont beaucoup de contenu et ils ne se mettent pas en situation. C'est très important de se mettre en situation. Ensuite, bien connaître son public, très important. Ça va aussi faire descendre le niveau de stress. Être conscient de nos forces et de nos faiblesses. Si je sais que je parle trop vite, ralentir. D'accord? Et si je sais que j'ai une facilité à connecter avec les gens, profitez de cette facilité-là et structurez votre speech pour qu'il y ait beaucoup d'histoires sur vous, ou vous faites de l'humour, par exemple, ou des choses comme ça. D'accord? Et puis, la connexion au public. Faites en sorte que quand vous arrivez, vous avez une opportunité de parler aux gens. Ça va aussi descendre votre stress. Donc ça, c'était pour la préparation. La deuxième chose, on a parlé du dialogue intérieur, tout ce qui se passe dans la tête. Souvent, on a un dialogue négatif et blablabla, je vais pas y arriver, oh là là, au secours, au secours. C'est important d'avoir des affirmations positives. Je peux le faire. Je vais avoir du plaisir. Mon public va apprendre des choses. Donc, c'est important de écrire des affirmations, les mémoriser, les lire avec le smartphone et après écouter pendant des jours. OK? Ensuite, la physiologie, c'était le corps. OK? Le corps, utilisez le corps, utilisez le sourire et je vous ai montré le test 3 minutes, ça permet de se sentir mieux et on peut l'utiliser donc avant de travailler sur notre speech, par exemple. Et quand on répète notre speech, essayez de vraiment sourire le plus possible pour que le jour où on est en face de notre audience, ce soit plus facile de sourire. Et puis, la posture du pouvoir, aussi, on peut l'utiliser quand on se prépare, quand on répète, parce que ça va beaucoup nous aider à nous sentir plus en confiance. Et le jour où on arrive en face, on sera dans une meilleure posture. Et finalement, on a fini avec la visualisation. Vous devez comprendre que c'est pas anodin. Ça, anodin, c'est peut-être un mot qui est pas dans votre vocabulaire, c'est un peu spécial, mais ce n'est pas du luxe de se visualiser parce que ça nous aide beaucoup. Comme Magdalene a fait l'expérience, c'est pas toujours des choses où on apprend, mais ça vous fait vraiment progresser et vous avez l'impression que c'est réel et c'est une façon vraiment de mieux contrôler le output, le résultat. D'accord? Donc voilà un petit résumé des 4 piliers qu'on a couverts ensemble. La préparation, le dialogue intérieur, le corps avec la physiologie et la visualisation. Parler n'est pas seulement un travail intellectuel. C'est tout le corps, le cœur et the mind qui doivent être engagés. C'est pas juste un exercice intellectuel parler. Et c'est ça la grande erreur de la plupart des gens. OK? Donc, comme je disais en introduction, si ce n'est pas dans votre langue, if it's not in your language, if it's a foreign language, it's even more important to use those 4 pillars, because you will feel empowered. This is not only about using the good vocabulary, the good grammar. It's also what you shine through, Don't feel intimidated. So be aware of where you are and don't try to use vocabulary you don't handle, okay? Stay where you are and do the best with what you have, with your level of French or your level of English for me, okay? Don't try to add pressure on the top of already the public speaking, which can already be stressful for some people. Don't add too much pressure with trying to do difficult sentences with new vocabulary and all that. No, this idea is be aware of what do you want to achieve. At the end of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I want my public to understand this and that. How I'm going to make them understand this and that? By speaking about those 3 things. And you write about it, you rehearse, you read, you you tape yourself, you register, and you listen, and you see, oh, no, those 2 words, people don't understand me. Okay, I'm going to train myself again and again, you know, and enjoy the process. You are going to learn a lot about it. And what's great is that everything I talked about is not only about public speaking, it's about life. Your self-talk is very often an obstacle for many things, correct? So use your body to feel confident, use visualization.
So I have to agree on the self-talk. We have to spend quality time to us talking to ourselves to see what progress we are making in whatever field we are. So there are a few questions, I mean like 2 questions in the chat box and you already answered one. So it's like, despite the preparation, how to face the questions from the public, which you are not prepared for.
Yeah, this is true. A way to do it is, according to the topic you are talking about, you can anticipate, you know, the different questions. And according to the public also, you may know what this public is going to ask. You know, if it's a technical things and you are an engineer, it's very easy for you to reply to it. So if you are not sure, ask question to people who knows this public well, but anticipate, do a long list of any question they can speak about. But according to the topic, you can narrow down the type of question. Are they more technical question? Are they more, you know, and try to answer each of them. And don't worry, be always in the posture where you say, okay, if I don't know an answer, don't try to, you know, find an answer. Just be authentic. Say, oh, very interesting question. So far, I do not know the answer to that because it's my colleague working on this topic. I'm proposing you to get back to you about this. Is it okay? So you are always, you know, approaching it in a very professional way. Don't feel down and shaking down. No, always be confident. You have already delivered your speech and you prepared a lot for it. You are happy with the content. You are happy with the delivering. And you may have a question that you don't know the answer. This is completely okay. Just feel very professional about your response, you know?
Exactly. So there is a question which we get quite often. How much time does it really take to speak French fluently?
Oh, you may know, French is not an easy language, but your own languages are very also difficult, you know. But English for all of us is much easier. English that's the reason why it's so widely spoken. English is quite easy to speak, you know. The grammar in French is a headache. Probably Hindi is the same, no? It's a headache, no? So, I mean, it depends a lot on how long you practice. Because as you know, if you are in the country itself, it changes everything. It really increases your chance to improve when you are in the country because you are completely immersed. So, and if you are also your emotional relationship to the language, you know, if you are obliged to learn it for a reason, or you are in love, and many people usually they do choose French with positive emotional. They love the sound of it. Often they found it very romantic. My American, you know, you remember, it was difficult for me teaching in English to American guys. This is how you should speak, you know, and I was the French girl, but I was playing with this aspect of, I knew they liked my accent, so I was playing with it. So try to play with your assets, you know. So for the French, the best is to be in the country. If you are not, the best is to practice the verbal language. I mean, you should, for me, perform more verbal than writing. I mean, writing, unless this is something you want to learn. But listen to French TV, you know, French radio, speak as much as possible, practice. And for yourself, you see, is it 3-4 years? No, 2 years, I think you told me. After 2 years, if you do it like 5 times a week or something, how many times a week? No, 5 hours.
Like the classes?
Yeah.
You'll be having nearly like 6 plus 6, 12 hours. Like, you know, first year and the second year. So it'll be like 12 hours per week.
That's quite consequent, you know. Me, when I was learning English, we had like very little. So when I went in the States, my English was not very good, and it improved in 1 year over there for sure. And the second year I was teaching it, so better for the students that I was okay on the second year, you know. But you know, I because it's my language, I wouldn't know, but and it's a difficult language. But if it's 12 hours per week, I'm sure. But the thing is that, Magdalene, is that maybe you do too much writing and not enough talking. So talking should be the majority of it for me.
Even I agree on the same, because writing, it's quite easy, but when we talk, we need to practice it. So I don't say learning a language, I often say we practice a language. So that's what I firmly believe in also. So there are 2 more questions. So it's like, in spite of having prepared very well for a talk, sometimes there are situations we tend to go blank. How to overcome such situations?
Yeah. So a way to, you know, respond first is you can do some humor, you know, like, oh, what's the next point? You know, just take it easy, you know, yourself, and people will feel relaxed. If you're like, oh my God, we can see it on your face and all that. So nobody is murdered, you know. It's like, so take it easy. So if you have a blank, you say, oh, sorry, okay, I was on the second point. And the time to say that, okay, or if you are in a plenary, you can ask. A very good way to say it is, okay, who can remind me what I was just saying? Okay, so you can say that, or you can just be very authentic and say, oh, I think I lost the train of my thoughts. So what I was talking about, and you talk loud like this. So that will be another one. Humor will be another one. Like, oh, sorry, I don't know where I am now. Can someone remind me? There are many ways, and you can have, you know, always have keywords. We are very visual, so you have keywords and some type of things like that. And if you have 3 parts of your speech, but you have 3 of those, you know, and you always put a number 1, 2, 3, because if you mix them, then it's stress to think, oh, what's the order of it? So those are some tips, but I think the most important is chill out, no stress, and you have different ways, you know, to go back to the train of thoughts. Your microphone.
So now I have a very interesting question asked by one of my students. So he's saying, like, he's asking, like, during a speech, when we ask a question and the audience remains unresponsive, is there any way to overcome this situation? Because this normally happens in an online class. We teach them, we ask them questions, and they'll be like silent, as if we don't know whether we were really talking to the students or we were talking to ourselves. So this happens, and he was also brought up the same question.
So if I was saying to Magdalene, so what do you think about that? And you don't answer, correct? Or have a hard time, okay. You can, this will be more a teaching type of format, I would think. But this is true that when you do speeches, sometimes you try to involve the audience and say like, what do you think about that? And nobody, then you could say, either you reformulate or you ask, maybe I don't see any response. Maybe my response is, my question is not clear enough. Or tell me why is it so difficult to answer this question. So you can do what I call a kind of meta communication, is that you speak about why this is an issue that there is no response. Maybe this is not clear enough, or you don't try to just you try to find the reason why behind. Maybe I didn't pronounce a word well, they couldn't understand me, or maybe they don't have the technical knowledge to answer those questions. So why not trying to find out why there is no response? This will be something
interesting. So I guess we are nearing like our 5 minutes from the webinar. So we are nearing to the last part of today's session. That would be like, we are very happy to announce the winners for the competition which we conducted commemorating the International Mother Language Day. So I would like Bharat to show us the PPT, the slides of the winners. So we would announce it here, and then we finish it with a word of thanks.
Thank you very much.
It is our pleasure, ma'am. So Bharat, can we have those slides? We'll just announce the winners. It was very nice for people to, participate in it. So we never expected these many numbers. So it was really nice for us also to select the posters and seeing different languages, cultures, etc.
Combien de personnes, Magdalene?
66.
Combien?
66.
66? 66?
Oui. 66 participated in the competition, and we have selected the top 3 in like 2 levels. One is like for school and one is for college. And there was a special entry also, so we would like to show it. So I guess there is some time in delay, in presenting the screen. In the meantime, I would just call out the names. A moment, excuse me. So we do have in the college level, the first place goes to Nikita from PSG College of Arts and Science. The second again goes to the PSG College, Deepshika. And the third to Arun Kumar of Bharatiyar University. Followed by the school level competition, all the 3 places goes to the Indian Public School. So the first goes to Shamyukta Veeramani, second to Jarik, and third to Sri Varshini. So I would like to say about the special entry, it was very interesting to see a teacher participating in it, which was like totally very nice for us to see. And her name is Alakku Gomati from Indian Public School. So thank you all for participating with us. So we will share the winner posters in our website. See you all in the next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magdalene. It was a pleasure to share this moment with you. Thank you for the opportunity, and enjoy the process really when you prepare your next speech.
Yeah, sure. And also, I would like to extend my thanks to Madame Caroline for taking her valuable time and talking to us about overcoming stage fear and developing our foreign language or any other language for that aspect. It was very common for us to develop things. So I say my gratitude to my organization, my principal, my colleagues for helping us making this webinar. So thank you, team. So we'll end it from here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you. Merci.